Hey everyone, this is the Millionaire Hippies podcast with your host, Boom Shikha, where we chat about spirituality, business, and health. We all want to live self-actualizing, fulfilling lives with joy, prosperity, and gratitude. Let's go on this beautiful journey together.
Hey everyone, welcome to another podcast episode. We're getting really close to the 100th episode of the Millionaire Hippie podcast. And I cannot believe that I've done 100 of these. It's insane. It's amazing what happens when you're consistent and you have a routine and you keep on doing work over a long period of time. I've had this podcast running for about a year now, and it's amazing. And I'm so grateful again that you guys are listening to me and supporting me in this journey. In today's podcast, I want to speak to you guys about night routines. So I think I've spoken to you guys several times before about morning routines, and I think you guys are mostly aware of the importance of having a great morning routine. But a lot of gurus and self-help coaches talk about how you need to have a routine for your nighttime as well, because if you have a good nighttime routine, you will be able to sleep better, and if you're able to sleep better, you're going to be able to start off your day better. And, the whole cycle continues that way. So we need to start off by thinking about a great night routine. One of the main things that you need to have in your night routine is a digital sleep, a digital detox of sorts, which means that you stop viewing any digital screen, for example, your iPad or your iPhone or a computer or anything like that before you go to sleep. Preferably an hour or two before you go to sleep so you have time for melatonin to form in your body, because these digital screens, they prevent the formation of the hormone melatonin in our bodies, which prevents sleep. So that's the reason a lot of people will be, they'll feel sleepy at night, but all of a sudden they'll start watching a YouTube video on their iPhones, and all of the sleep that they had in their bodies disappears. And that's the reason they tell you do not look at a digital screen right before you're going to sleep, preferably an hour or two of digital sleep, digital detox before you go to sleep, to ensure that melatonin has time to form in your body, and so it can give the signal to your brain and to your body that it is time to fall asleep. So perhaps instead of reading on your iPad or reading on your laptop, instead of that, perhaps get a physical book that you can hold in your hands and you can read without a screen, not a Kindle either. I don't think that works either. So a book, an actual book, a physical book that you're reading before bed, so that it helps you relax and detox from the digital screens. Or you go for a walk, or you hang out with your friends and family, you're chatting, not watching TV together, something like that. Another thing that you should kind of add or think about adding to your night routine, not only is a digital detox, but also the fact that you should not exercise or eat within 3 hours of going to sleep. So if you're, again, going to sleep at 10 p.m., then your last meal should or try be around before 7 p.m. And also, same thing with exercise, physical exercise, active exercise, aerobic exercise, where you're really, really pumping it. You want to ensure that it is not very close to your bedtime, because what happens again is when you exercise, there is a 12-hour period where your metabolisms increase, your heart rates increase, your breath, and all that stuff. And that is something that you want to take advantage of. So that's why most people recommend that you exercise in the morning. But if you exercise very close to your bedtime, you're not going to be able to fall asleep. You're going to be way too pumped up, be way too energetic, and you're not going to be able to fall asleep. So again, that's another thing that you need to be careful of. So not eating before or close to your bedtime, not exercising very close to your bedtime. Obviously not consuming caffeine after 2 p.m. is very useful exercise as well, unless caffeine doesn't affect you. Caffeine affects me a lot, and I know if I have an espresso or a coffee very close to my bedtime, I won't sleep the whole night for sure. And even actually sometimes if I have it at 2 p.m., I still can't sleep at night. So I'm very much affected by it. But some people I know, like my sister, they can have 6 cups of coffee a day and they're completely unaffected. They can still fall asleep without any issues. That's how desensitized they are. So it depends on you, of course. And of course, the digital detox are not having any screens next to you either while you're sleeping. So no iPhones right next to your bed or any kind of screen. You want to have your bed or your bedroom, the place you're sleeping in, be extremely dark so dark that you cannot see your hand in front of your eyes. If you just have your hand in front of you, you can't actually see it. That's how dark your room is supposed to be. Now, a lot of people don't like sleeping in such a dark room. They have like a nightlight or something. But that's what they say again. It's the same thing as a digital screen. It's preventing the formation of melanin in your body, and that prevents you from falling asleep. So it's really great if it can be really dark, kind of cool. So your room needs to be, the place you're sleeping, it needs to be coolish, not too hot, not too cold, but coolish. Because what happens is that your body temperature drops right before you're going to as you're falling asleep. So it gives your body or your brain a signal as soon as your body temperature drops that you're falling asleep, kind of. So that helps as well. Not a lot of noise, obviously. I mean, that's like a given. If there's a lot of noise in your room, then you're not going to be able to fall asleep. So if there is stuff that's going on outside of your balcony, outside your window, perhaps close the window, so not sleep like that. There's a lot of other things you can do in order to sleep better. I mean, there's white noise machines. If there's a lot of noise near your apartment, or you are unable to sleep, then you have these white noise machines that creates all these noises for you, so you can fall asleep to the soothing sound of rivers or oceans or birds or forest sounds or just noise in general, white noise in general. But other things you can think about adding to your night routine perhaps could be that you do a little bit of journaling. You could think about maybe perhaps thinking of what your day was like, what did you learn from your day, and what could you learn that you could do better tomorrow, or what could you pull as a learn that you could use tomorrow. Things like that, or doing a gratitude journal, for example. Perhaps you think about all of the different things that happened during the day that you're really grateful for, that you're thankful for to the universe, and that you are so happy that you have in your life. So a gratitude journal, doing that every night before you fall asleep, maybe having a book next to your bed and you just write down 5 things that are awesome in my life right now, 5 things I'm really grateful for, 5 things that happened today that made me realize that the universe loves me, things like that. Or you could also put in things that you learned, or you could think about your goals and how did you accomplish, or how did you help accomplish your goals today? What did you do that moved you closer to becoming that best version of yourself? You could write that down in your journal before you fall asleep. That could be another routine, nighttime routine that you could add on. Just like a morning routine, though, there are a billion ways you can end off your night. And the reason why it's good to have a nighttime routine is because you're bookending your day. So you have a nighttime routine, and then you have a morning routine. And so you've set up your day, the only 2 times of the day that you can really actually control, because the rest of your day is out of your control. People will come up to you, interrupt you, ask you to do things for them. It's all out of your control. But what happens in the morning is controllable by you, because you're just woken up and that time is yours. And the time before you fall asleep is yours. So you can do whatever you want with that time. And so you have the ability to switch things around so they're more suited to you rather than following some other person's agenda for you, which is what we end up doing during the day. Someone tells us, oh, let's go here, and so we go there. Someone tells us to come to visit them, so we do. Or our bosses tell us to come for a meeting, so we do. Or someone comes to our desk and interrupts us, so we let them interrupt us. These are things we can't control, but what we can control is our mornings and our nighttime. And so we can do that by creating these routines. And if we create a routine, again, as I've said before, willpower is really diminished by the time it comes to nighttime. So that's the reason a lot of people say don't work out at night, because by the time it comes out to being like 6 or 7 p.m., you've really used up all of your willpower, and it's very rare that you'd be able to really go out and work out, right? So also you don't want to work out too close to your nighttime routine anyways, or your bedtime, because you're not going to be able to fall asleep. So because willpower is so diminished by the time nighttime routines come around, you need to have a set habit. So this is what I'm going to do, and you don't deter from it. So what you do, you take a shower perhaps, and then you come into bed, you do a little bit of journaling, you don't look at your screen, you read a little bit of maybe a chapter of your book, and then you fall asleep. So you have kind of a routine set up, and so you don't have to kind of think about it anymore. And the more you can set it up as a habit, you're not using your willpower, you know that you're not going to be able to change it around too much, and you know that that's going to be good for you. One of the main things, though, that I have a really hard time with my nighttime routine is that people are always messaging me on Facebook, and as I'm completely addicted to my phone, especially Messenger, because I'm always hearing from friends and they're giving me all these ideas and telling me of what they're thinking about. It's just so addictive to have that message pop up. It's really, really important for me in my nighttime routine to put my phone down somewhere where I don't see it, and so don't pick up my phone. That's something that I'm still working on. I haven't practiced it perfectly yet. Some nights I'm able to do that, some nights I'm not. And so that's something I'm really working on. Perhaps that's something for you to work on as well in your nighttime routine. So that's something that I wanted to share with you guys. Not a lot of people speak about nighttime routines because I guess a lot of people have a hard enough time with morning routines that they don't think that they'll be able to add on nighttime routines. I think nighttime routines are easier to set up than morning routines because they're not about doing anything hard. They're just about making sure that you fall asleep perfectly well. I hope this makes sense to you guys. I hope that this is something that will help you in setting up your own nighttime routine. You can ask me any questions by emailing me at boomshikha@themillionairehippie.com. I'll talk to you guys the next time around. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening. Go check out my website at themillionairehippie.com if you want more free, awesome content. If you really like the podcast, please consider giving me a 5-star review on iTunes. Until next time, namaste.